Passing the PMP exam isn't just about studying hard. It's about truly understanding the core concepts behind project management. Many exam questions are designed to test how well we know these fundamentals and how we apply them in real situations. In today's video, we'll explore 5 of the 10 most important predictive terms every PMP aspirant should know. These terms are very likely to appear on your exam, which is why you should understand them very well before the test day. In this video, we'll go through each term with simple examples that make them easy to remember. And here's the best part. If you'd like the complete list of all these key terms, just drop a comment below with the words predictive list and I'll share the full list with you. But before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Sabri C. I am the founder of the casePM Academy and also the instructor of the best-selling PMP Exam Prep course on Udemy. Thousands of students pass their exams using this course. Okay, let's get started. The first term we should know for the PMP exam is the project charter. The project charter is the document that formally authorizes the project. By creating the project charter, we are essentially telling everyone, hey, we are starting a new project. This gives the project manager the authority to use organizational resources. In other words, once this document is approved, the project manager can access the organization's finances and assign its resources. For example, the project manager can hire team members from different departments, purchase necessary equipment, or allocate budget to kick off project activities. In predictive environments, without the project charter, the project manager cannot do any of these things. But what information can we find in it? The charter includes the project's goals and high-level information about the project. So we identify the reason for its existence, estimate the budget at a high level, define major high-level risks, and so on. For example, the charter might state that the project exists to expand the company's market share by launching a new product line. It might include a high-level timeline showing that the project should be completed within 1 year, or it might list key stakeholders such as the project sponsor or major customers who will play an important role in the project success. The second term we absolutely need to know for the exam is the project management plan. In predictive projects, this is like our master guide. It tells us how the project will be carried out, monitored, and controlled from start to finish. Inside it, you'll find information about all the important subsidiary plans like the scope management plan, the schedule management plan, the risk management plan, and plenty more. Think of it like a big divider folder that keeps everything organized in one place. Whenever we want to check something about one of these plans, we go to the project management plan. The project management plan is created by the project manager and the project team, and it should be formally approved by high-level executives, the project sponsor, the project team, and other key stakeholders. After the approval, we hold a meeting called the kickoff meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to communicate the plan, align stakeholders, and ensure everyone understands the project's objectives, scope, and how the work will be carried out. In the project management plan, we don't just have the subsidiary management plans. We also include information about the project lifecycle, the development approach, management reviews, and the performance measurement baseline. So we have information like whether the project will follow a predictive, agile, or hybrid approach, when management reviews will take place, and how project performance will be measured against the baseline. So here comes our second term for the PMP exam. Baseline. What is a baseline? Before starting the project, we should create the scope. This means we define what work is included in the project. Then, based on this scope, we plan when we will do things. This is called the project schedule. For example, if the scope says we need to build 5 floors of a building, the schedule will tell us when each floor will be completed. And finally, Based on the scope and the schedule, we calculate how much the total project will cost. Therefore, before starting the project execution work, we should create the scope, project schedule, and project budget. Whenever we get approval for this, they become baselines. So, after the approval of the scope by the sponsor and other key stakeholders, it becomes the scope baseline. After the approval of the project schedule, it becomes the schedule baseline. And finally, when the budget is approved, it becomes the cost baseline. These three, the scope baseline, the schedule baseline, and the cost baseline, are all called the performance measurement baseline. We use these baselines to measure and compare actual project performance against the approved plan. So, for example, if the project is halfway through and we've already spent 70% of the budget, the baselines help us see that costs are running higher than planned. Likewise, if the schedule shows we should have completed 3 floors by now but only 2 are finished, the baselines reveal that we are behind schedule. Therefore, we use the baselines for tracking scope, schedule, and cost performance throughout the project. The scope baseline consists of the project scope statement, the work breakdown structure, WBS, and the WBS dictionary. Here, the project scope statement is simply a detailed description of what the project will deliver and the boundaries of the work. For example, in a hospital construction project, the scope statement may specify that the project includes building the main hospital building and parking facilities, but excludes landscaping and feature expansions. Or in a software development project, the scope statement may specify that the project will deliver a mobile application for iOS and Android but excludes creating a desktop version. Being part of the scope baseline, the work breakdown structure is the next important term for the PMP exam. Put simply, it's a way of breaking the whole project into smaller pieces so the work becomes easier to plan, manage, and control. These smaller pieces are called work packages. For example, if you are building a house, the WBS might break it down into major parts like foundation, walls, roof, plumbing, and electrical work, and each of these can then be divided into more detailed deliverables such as concrete work for the foundation or wiring for the electrical system. To describe the details of each work package, such as scope, deliverables, owner, and acceptance criteria, we create the WBS dictionary. Therefore, in the WBS dictionary, we document exactly what each work package includes, who is responsible for it, what resources are needed, and how we will know it is completed successfully. For example, for the roofing work package, the WBS dictionary might state that it covers installing all roof structures and materials, that the roofing contractor is responsible, that specific materials and safety standards must be followed, and that it will be accepted only after a final inspection is passed. A work breakdown structure is important in real life because it makes sure no part of the project is missed and helps us estimate time and cost more accurately. In the exam, you might see questions about what the WBS is used for and how it connects the scope baseline. Okay, once the project management plan is approved, if you want to make a change in the performance measurement baseline or any part of the project management plan, we need to create a change request in predictive environments. And the change request is the next term you need to know very well for the PMP exam. A change request is simply a form that includes information about what we want to change, why we need this change, and how we will apply the change. So, for example, if the client decides to add an extra meeting room to an office building that originally had 5 planned, a change request must be created to update the scope and cost. Or if bad weather delays construction by 1 month, a change request is submitted to revise the project schedule baseline. It is created by the project manager or any team member who identifies the need for the change and is then submitted to the Change Control Board. Once the Change Control Board receives the request, it evaluates the change to decide whether to approve, reject, or defer it. To make a decision, they analyze the impact of the change on the project's scope, schedule, cost, quality, resources, and risks, and may also consult subject matter experts or stakeholders before finalizing their decision. In predictive environments, only after the change request is approved can we implement the change. So, these were 5 out of the 10 predictive terms you should be very familiar with before taking the PMP exam. I will cover the next 5 in the following video. For the full list, just comment predictive list so that I can send it to you. So, don't miss out. Make sure to comment and stay tuned for the next video.